Monday, September 20th at 7:07 p.m. Could everyone stand for a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have
Mrs. Bream,
here?
Mr. Francis, Mr. Hoff, Mr. Hoover, Mrs. Irwin Adams, Mr. Johnston, Mr. Cruz. Is he zooming?
Pardon me?
Is he zooming in?
Is that Zoom? We don't.
Mrs. McGinnis, Dr. Malloy.
Here.
Okay, and we did have an executive session this evening at 6 p.m. for reasons of personnel. Moving on to hearing from citizens. I have a list here. Nicole Nagel, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Good evening. I just want to get two things out of the way here. First of all, the Department of Health's mask order is just that, a mask order, not a mandate. And a mandate is not a law, so do not refer it to as such. I came here with the whole speech prepared, but what's the point? None of you listened a couple weeks ago. You made it abundantly clear that you only cared about the money, abundantly clear. You don't care about our students. If you did, you would care that they're coming home every day with headaches, every day crying because they're having trouble concentrating in class. They can't take it anymore. And that's not just because of us parents. I go home and put a smile on my face to my children and encourage them to wear the mask so they can be in school, but it doesn't matter. They're still coming home with the headaches. They're still coming home crying that they can't pay attention in class. They're coming home because their mask slipped below their nose and the teacher's more concerned with giving them points than teaching in class. Is that really what we're doing now? Because the Pennsylvania Department of Education is giving empty threats. It's well known because some of us parents sought legal counsel that the Department of Ed has no legal standing on any of it. They can threaten you all they want, but there's nothing they can really do about it. So you're more worried about parents filing lawsuits because they're not wearing masks. You need to be worried about the other way around, because attorneys won't take the cases for parents that are on the opposing side of us. Ask yourself why.
Okay, and next, Julia McCauley wants to address dress code.
Hello, my name is Julia McCauley and I'm here to speak on the dress code. In 1942, women started changing the way they dressed, and even then it was regulated by men. In 1942, girls wore long dresses that covered their shoulders and legs completely because they were forced to by their husbands and their fathers. In 1937, two teenagers walked down the street wearing shorts for the first time. This caused a car crash because
Excuse me, could you pull the microphone down a little bit closer to your face? I'm having a hard time hearing. I'm sorry.
Sorry. In 1937, two teenagers walked down the street wearing shorts for the first time. This caused a car crash because no one had ever seen two young girls dressing this way. In their mind, no man would ever let a woman dress like this. That's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem. I think it's about time men stop dictating what women can and cannot wear. Since August 26, 1920, we've had the right to vote. And since then, men didn't need to let us do anything. We could finally do things ourselves, yet they still tried and got away with it. So why are we still letting them tell us how to dress our bodies? How men dress is on them, but how girls dress is still on men? How unfair is that? The dress code is fairly outdated and focuses mainly on us girls. On Wednesday, September 15th, 2021, I was dress coded for wearing this exact outfit. Mr. Buffalini said it was against the dress code, and when I asked why I was in the dress code to begin with, he responded with, "Because it is," and would not give me a logical reason. The end of my skirt is 2.1 inches above the top of my kneecap, and it's about as far as my thumb is. My mom had to bring me jeans or I would have been in school suspension for the remainder of the day. I had changed and still got a Saturday detention for the 25th of this month. For the first 2 periods of the day, I had homeroom, and neither of those 3 teachers, for the first 2 periods of the day, homeroom and first 2 periods, neither of those teachers, one being male and 2 female, said anything about my skirt being too short because they didn't think it is because it's not. This brings me to my shoulders. I had worn this sweater for those first 2 periods in homeroom, and it got hot in the classrooms and running from building to building. So I took it off until after lunch. So I had 2 male teachers and 1 female teacher. Not one word was said to me about my shoulders or my skirt length because they don't find it distracting. I was on my way to 6th period, which is my English class, an important core class because I need to do well in. I had an essay due that Friday. That essay was important because we won't have another big assignment this marking period. But instead of being in that class, I sat in Mr. Buffalini's office for 30 minutes, then was walked down to ISS until my mom could bring me jeans. By the time I got changed and went to the other building to my class, I had 3 minutes left. I don't understand why shoulders are not allowed to be shown. If it's a distraction, I would like to know what male is going to be distracted by them. On page 7 of the AASD Student Code of Conduct, it said clothing worn on school premises shall not be immodest, suggestive, unclean, vulgar, obscene, disturbing, or distracting. As far as I can tell, my shirt is none of those things. On page 8, it says examples of such dress include or not limited to revealing clothing, see-through blouses, skirts, tank tops, muscle shirts, halter tops, blouses, or shirts that do not cover the shoulder. Yes, the shirt is a tank top, but all of those things can be classified as revealing. But I wonder why. On page 8, it also states that outer garments like this shall be placed in the locker and must not be worn in the classroom at any time. Note that no clothing examples, jackets, sweaters, sweatshirts, and shirts are not allowed to be tied around a person's waist. On page 8, it also states that dresses, skirts, shorts must be a length as to reach the person's knee area when the student is standing. Knee area can be defined as 2.1 inches above because it is in the area of the knee. On page 10 of the Student Code of Conduct, it also says that the Altoona Area School Board District of School Directors believes that daily attendance is an integral part of effective educational environment and continues to say that since learning occurs in a sequential order, regular attendance is necessary for students to build upon previous information. Yet somehow, Mr. Buffalini thought it was appropriate to remove me from a core class, as I have stated before, why is it so important? So that means what I wear to school must be more important than the education I'm getting from it. Is that not a fair conclusion? Now that I have talked about the student dress code, I would like to note on that day, I saw 4 to 5 other girls that had their shoulders out. And while I was walking with Mr. Buffalini, a girl passed us with her stomach showing and not a word was said to her. Also, I was heading to my locker. I saw 3 girls with skirts just as short, if not shorter than mine, and another wearing a dress that reached mid-thigh. Yet they were still wearing their clothes, so I can only assume that nothing was said to them as they were not forced to change. That's not all either. On the following day, I saw at least 30 boys that were wearing shorts that only reached mid-thigh or a little lower, not even near the knee. Again, I can only assume they were not forced to change. Why is this? Is it because we are girls and they are boys, and only the girls are told to cover up? I would also like to address.
Okay, your time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Joe Lenhart, masking. Is Joe here? Okay, Paige Shaneyfelt, dress code. Paige Shaneyfelt. Neva or. Okay, and Christy Alley, masks.
Can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. All right, I'm not gonna take a lot of time because you guys definitely don't listen very well. All right, obviously after the last meeting, and if you listen anyways, it's been shown through all this that our children are just dollar signs to most of you. You don't want to be held liable for students getting COVID if they don't wear a mask, even though you have so many parents willing to sign a paper stating that the district will not be held liable. So here's my questions. First, if you actually paid attention at the last meeting, did any research, or I know one of the parents actually came up, handed all of you papers, which probably only half of you actually looked at and didn't even pay attention, you would know that masks cause more harm than good. So my question is, or actually I have a couple questions. If a student comes home, and I know I have 4 students within this district, one of my children last year came home almost daily, headaches, didn't feel good. He wasn't himself. He's literally, you can ask his teachers, he is the most laid back child. He'd come home, he was just angry, just 100% not himself. All these headaches, and I'm sure that there was a list of other things. Can we sue the district? What are you guys gonna do then? You guys are held liable for that? You're not worried about that? It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure parents will gladly send y'all medical bills, by the way. I'm sure they won't have any problem with that. And also, Dr. P, this is more towards you because I think all of us parents can probably agree that we all know that you are pretty concerned with money, considering your palace here. I know me, along with several other parents, I know other parents have already pulled their students out and put them in cyber that's not Altoona Cyber. Doing so, school district loses money. I know my 4 students alone, that's what, 10 grand? And that's just me. I know several other people that have multiple students in this school district. They will not hesitate to pull their students. Is the school district willing to take a loss for that? That's an awful lot of money. And my second concern, aside from masking, that it just needs to be the parent's choice. It's a medical device. You guys are not authorized to make that decision. That is a parent. My second question, can any one of you answer me? How many male students are in this high school? Offhand, or even a rough estimate, I guess, any one of you?
Well, this is public comment, so
I understand. I just want a rough idea. How many male students are in the high school? 1,100? Okay. So, and there's 2 boy bathrooms open in the whole school. Why is my oldest is in the high school, coming home and saying, Mom, it really sucks. I can't even go to the bathroom until I get to gym class. And I say, well, why not? Because he might have class on this floor, on one floor, but the closest bathroom could be 2 floors away. There's what, a couple minutes in between classes? How is he supposed to go to his locker, get to the bathroom, which I'm sure they're probably crowded because there's only 2 of them. How is that okay? Once again, another liability. If that was me and I was at home with my kids and they said, Mom, I have to go pee. And I'm sorry, we don't have the time right now. You got to wait another couple hours. CYS would be called and be knocking down my door and I would get charged with child abuse. How is that not child abuse? You guys say that you're for the kids and you care about the kids. No, that's not okay. Stuff really needs to change.
thank you. Okay, moving along, minutes from the. No, she didn't come. Minutes from the August 16th and August 25th special board meeting. Can I have a motion and a second? Any conversation, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. List of payments, financial reports, HRA agreement, cyber liability insurance, self-funded agreement. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Okay, I had a couple questions on payments. On page 1, check number 121653, Central Cambria School District, $16,974.68. 2021 SY, I'm assuming school year.
Correct. That's 3 students who were at Adelphi Village.
Was that a refund?
No, we have to pay for their education. They were at Adelphi Village and they educated, Central Cambria educated them.
I think I have one other one here. NWEA, check number 121884. Map growth K to 12 is what it says, and then,
That is one of our Title I screening tools. We have to administer 3 times a year.
okay. And Central Pennsylvania Digital, 300,000. Is that a cyber school?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, those were my only questions. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Policy. Final reading on the fraud policy. There's 2 of them, and whistleblowing, no retaliation. First reading on public meetings, threat assessment, student assistance program, public participation in board meetings. Can I have a motion and a second? Any questions? Discussion?
Just a quick question. Brad, you, on what we just heard on the dress policy, you're working on that, correct?
Try it now, Brad.
To hit that one?
So we are referring to a stable committee that students, administration, staff members, parents, and
Yeah, last week we had a policy meeting on the 14th. And policy meetings, we need to go for an hour. We spent 45 minutes on the so it's like we're spending a lot of it's not.
Okay. Okay. It's hearing from public has ended, sir. They'll be happy to talk to you after the meeting if you would like. Thank you.
So Brett, you are going to have student involvement in the dress code, correct? Okay, and how long do you think this will take? Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Education, signed agreement student, donors choose project, McAuliffe Heights, Irving, at-risk status, Keystone String Festival, cooperative agreement with St. Francis University for dual enrollment, agreement with Waterfront Learning, IU3 for AP cyber courses, Sunday athletic event approval, secondary field trips, volunteer approval, and elementary field trips. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Personnel. Superintendent's evaluation, raise and goals. Certified occupational therapy assistant rate increase. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Is the occupational therapy, is that enough money? Because I know we're in,
That,
we're,
it was recommended we go to 25. There are reasons that the people who are in these roles like that position. And we think that's going to be an adequate rate. Michelle, you still agree that would be an adequate increase?
all right.
Anyone else?
No.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Student Services, Southwood Psychiatric Hospital. Child Advocates Use of Space Agreement. Alternative Community Resource Program, Letter of Agreement. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Business Operations, Transfer of Funds, STA Bus Drivers, Repository Bids, Winter Sports Equipment Bid, Capital Reserve List of Payments, Advertising Agreement. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any questions? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Facilities and Maintenance. Mansion Park ADA ramps and grandstand modifications. Mansion Park home and visitor grandstands to include structure. And Ebner weatherization. Sorry about that. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments? Anyone else?
We're gonna get a price on the handrails. We're gonna go with 2 different price, 4 rows, 6 rows, 8 rows, this kind of price, but we're definitely gonna see handrails. Definitely get 2 different prices.
Okay, what do you mean by two? In 2 rows going up or?
Maybe it's the design of the bid will stagger. We'll go 2, 4, 6, 8. Because we have 8 rows on the home side, we have 4 rows on the away side.
Okay,
And because they're going to have to make adjustments to the actual bleachers themselves, and then they'll have to custom build handrails to fit that space. We're going to see the difference in cost between 2, 4, 6, and 8. because
Okay.
we have maximum big rows.
okay. Anyone else?
So it's going to have to accommodate, right, depending on the cost. Like,
Okay. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business, revised 21-22 school calendar and Learning Express calendar. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Okay, and this was changed because of the
because of the hurricane.
hurricane day that we had. Okay. Any questions,
Yeah,
comments?
just something real quick. This has nothing to do, but with the kids get in the morning, getting through the security. And I got, I think we all got a letter on this, that first period is, the kids aren't receiving the full first period time. Some kids are, are in advanced placement and this and that, and I agree with the parent that, we should maybe check the bell schedule that every class is the same length.
And then in the practices of the first grade class. High school pretty good. Earlier the first couple weeks of school, we've gotten down pretty much the signs for working.
So they're in by start time. Good. So junior high was a problem. That's good. Good. Good, good. I know we appreciate that's good job. Thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Do any committee chair people have any reports for this meeting?
To break before the meeting and have technology.
Okay, you don't have a date for that yet. Anyone else? She's on. Yeah, I have it.
Currently, we're at 4. Is that correct? 4. 4 options we just had. We were running 11 sites with children. 7,400.
But I think 4 officers might not be enough for our needs. That might want we might want to reevaluate environments. I know people are really concerned about different issues like flight, I just think it's important to be reevaluated. And maybe that's where I
So everyone understands we have how many greeters? So we have 7 greeters. We have how many security personnel during the day? Security guards. 1. We have Bryce and we have Bill Wilkinson, correct? Bryce is part-time. Bryce is part-time. So we have 1.5 security personnel, 7 security greeters, and our 4 officers. And the chief, correct? Correct. Okay. And yes, Constantly concerned about the proper ratio and making sure we have the right number of personnel. Another thing since we're talking. At this point, but, well, we have a structure in place. Our police officers haven't been an issue. The issues we're having right now is this lack of available candidates, which is across the industry. We are trying to get through this period of time to see how it settles out once the unemployment compensation perks are over. So we're working on that. In the future, we may bring that to the board to create an increase in one of those areas. But at this time, we want to stand pat. We do have, at this time, if anyone is interested, since we're talking about employment, we have, I believe, 6 open maintenance custodial positions as part of the AASD meeting. If people are interested in that position, please contact Human Resources. We'd be glad to interview you and bring you on board. So constantly working on acquiring more personnel, skill-driven, trained people to fill those kinds of positions. Thank you.
Okay, next, we're going to jump the student representative ahead of you, Dr. Priatel. Go ahead.
So obviously with sports and school starting, a lot's been going on for cross country. Recently, both the boys and girls varsity teams won the AAA title this Saturday at the Mountain Line Invitational. We hosted 38 teams and over 550 runners. Girls and boys soccer are both doing very well. Girls soccer is currently 5-2 and boys soccer is 3-2. Girls tennis is also 7-3. They're doing very well. And then girls volleyball, they're 2-1. And last week they hosted the annual Aaron Dotson Memorial Game. They raised $1,800 for the Aaron Dotson Scholarship. With golf, we actually had our first 3 girls qualify for sectionals, which will be held on September 23rd. And football is currently 3-1. The next big upcoming event in our high school is homecoming. Homecoming week will start next week. Homecoming tickets will be sold on the bridge next Monday through Wednesday for $5. With that, we have theme days throughout the week. Monday is pajama day. Tuesdays is 90s theme. Wednesdays is Keller Wars. So 9th grade will be wearing red. 10th grade will be wearing purple. 11th grade will be wearing green. And seniors will be wearing blue. Thursday is tie-dye day. And Friday is whiteout. Monday, September 27th will be games night at the field house. And Wednesday, September 29th will be the dance. It starts at 7 p.m. at the field house. Friday, October 1st will be the coronation game versus Harrisburg, and the theme for that game will be the whiteout. Other news going on our high school, junior and senior class fundraiser forms were passed out in homerooms. This year it's Claysburg Pizza, and forms will need to be returned by October 8th. The fall play was actually just having auditions today, and the fall play will be A Christmas Carol, A Ghost Story of Christmas. The Altoona High School was the secondary winner for the Go for Gold competition sponsored by the Brian Warden Foundation, which supports research for childhood cancer. And there have been ongoing issues with vandalism in the bathrooms, but it was addressed to students and will be continued to be monitored.
Thank you. Superintendent's report.
Just want to shout out to the cross country people. Last Saturday was the 26th annual Altoona Invitational. We hosted 38 school districts. I think was it junior high through high school? Am I correct, Paula?
It was junior high through high school.
Junior and senior high school. We had over 700 runners participate in that event on Saturday. And again, thank you to the parents who helped run the event and to put together and to make sure the course was totally prepared. To our maintenance department for all the efforts they put into that, and likewise the parental boosters for making that event happen. And since we're talking about employment, anyone who may have a bachelor's degree would be willing to consider substitute teaching for the district, please contact ESS. We put out through the newsletter, through Facebook, through the district webpage, and other sources, because we are definitely hunting for substitute teachers.
And also, if it's kind of a different kind of schedule, but if someone knows someone who might be free in the morning and free in the afternoon, the city, we collaborate with the city on crossing guards, and we are always in need of people to fill those positions. Thank you.
Is there anyone here from the employees union? Middle management? Now solicitor? No report. Okay, if there isn't anything else, this meeting is adjourned.
Getting in the front, go on there.
I think, I forget. Yeah, John was he there? Did he say anything? He's in good shape. Yes, he is. I was with him when he had a hole in one at Park Hills. Yeah.
Anyone else? Meeting's adjourned.